With us now is Elijah Stacy. Welcome to the show, Elijah. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Now, what's so interesting to me in the research that I was given and that I've been doing is that I told you I know a lot about MD and a lot about Duchenne because growing up, I would always be the girl with a coffee can that was raising quarters outside of a Schnucks grocery store in St. Louis, Missouri, because Mike and Joe Fannin, my best friend Patty's cousins, both had Duchenne. Now, it's interesting because you also have other people in your family, correct? So tell me a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I'm born with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I have the disease. And then my little brother Max, he had the disease, but unfortunately he passed away when he was 14, and that's a whole story itself. And then my little brother Kai, he also has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and he's in eighth grade today, and he's 14 years old.
Duchenne affects, when they say muscular dystrophy, it affects your muscles, your breathing muscles, and things like that. And I'm sorry for the loss of your brother. Can you tell us a little bit about how the disease kind of maybe took a hold of him and the things that you're doing, which are maybe slightly different, that are helping to your current longevity?
Sure. So when it comes to my brother Max, he had other health complications. When he was born with a heart problem, and they wanted to fix the heart problem. And normally it has a successful success rate. The surgery, it's a very high success rate, but it didn't do too well, and so he had a massive stroke, and it just led to a lot of other health complications. But Duchenne muscular dystrophy made this a lot more challenging, with his breathing and everything like that. So he passed away from the disease in 2019, and that's a little bit about my brother Max. But what I'm trying to do with my disease, how I'm battling Duchenne muscular dystrophy, is constantly working out, trying to go to physical therapy, trying to just manage my health. And most importantly, I believe, is to remain positive and optimistic about completing the cure for this disease, because really it all starts with the mind, in my opinion.
A small it. A small it. Like you have a book, people have endorsed it. You have been on an extraordinary journey. So I would love to celebrate you for that. So that's wonderful. The choices that you've made, the empowerment that you've been giving to others, it's really beautiful, Elijah. You stand for so much power.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And, I've been working on just trying to help people overcome their adversity, in addition to trying to raise money for science with my nonprofit. The book, A Small If, you mentioned, the book's all about overcoming adversity and trying to live a more fulfilling life. So in the book, I outlined 13 life lessons that I've learned so far. And these range from, overcoming adversity to, trying to just have more meaning in your life, to staying ambitious, all kinds of things that I think are going to really help people, because I believe that we should never let our suffering go unused, but we should use our suffering to help other people overcome their suffering.
That's beautifully put. We all have challenges on our journey. You know, uh, we all have like these life lessons to learn. But you were so gracious in writing yours down and helping people kind of see through their own journey what you've been through. And I think it really resonates with people. And people need that. People need to be able to look at you, to take your knowledge, to take your wisdom, and kind of apply it, if you will, to their own life. Um, who inspires you? Who are some of your people that you like getting wisdom from?
Well, Al, thank you so much for that. But that's a hard question. There's so many people that inspire me and give me wisdom. I have to say my parents is one of them. Seeing how they have handled this whole situation, how positive they are, and how they keep going is just really inspiring. And then, there's other people throughout history that I would look up to. I look at people like Epictetus. He was an ancient Stoic philosopher, and his views on overcoming adversity and the challenges that he faced. I'd look at the teachings of Jesus. I think they're fascinating. I think they could be very useful. I'd look at business role models like Jeff Bezos, someone that I look up to in the business world. There's so many people that I look up to, and I think that really we could take something from everybody and try and incorporate that into our lives. That's what I believe. I believe in always being a student and trying to learn something from everybody.
I do as well. And if is such an interesting word. Where did that phrase come from? Where did you first decide that you were going to get around that word? Two little letters in the alphabet, but put together means so much.
Yeah, so what happened is I was going to my doctor's and my spine was curved so much that my doctor during this appointment said that you need to have a metal rod inserted into your back at this point. He was really putting his foot down, really pushing for me to have the surgery. And I didn't want that. I look over to my left, my mom is crying, my dad's got his head down, that's what he does when he's sad. And I'm sitting there smiling because I'm not accepting this news. So it's a very long appointment, longer than usual. And I'm going back and forth with my doctor, and I ask him if I was able to reverse the current state of my spine, could I then avoid having to get the surgery? And he tells me, Elijah, I don't want to give you any false hope. As your doctor, I got to really put my foot down and push for you to have this surgery. And I've never seen anybody be able to do this. It's basically medically impossible. But because I know you, I will give you a small if, right? That's if you're able to do it. And so that's all I needed to hear was a small if. And so from that day forward, I went to physical therapy, did intense stretching, worked out every day at my house. I hung a picture of my x-ray of my spine on my bedroom wall so I would see it every morning to, get in the right mindset of knowing what I have to do today. I even taught myself how to cook, so I'd be carrying, the pan in one hand, driving my wheelchair in the other hand. I was doing everything I could to reverse the current state of my spine. And so 3 months later from when I got a small if, I went back to my doctors, did the x-ray, and my spine was straighter. All I needed was a small if. That small possibility was all I needed to make it happen.
Yeah, I was really inspired when our mutual friend Amy told me your story. I was excited to have you on the show, and I was like, wow, that's so cool, because people sometimes don't live in possibility, right? They don't live in the what if or a small if or perhaps, right? But you do, and you're living proof that it is possible, that if we put our mind to it and we put a little work to it, it's worth a try.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because if you didn't do anything, then it was already a concrete answer for you. But you took that small if and you're like, well, at least let me try. And so congrats to you on that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, though. People just they have to find the possibility. If you just find the possibility, if it's possible, then there's a chance that you can do it, and you just got to work really hard and go make it happen.
And I make the possible probable. I mean, I am so forward thinking. I'm already living as if it's 2026, and then I reverse engineer it, right? I'm like, where do I want to be in 2026? And let me just back it up now so that I can get to that point. What are you most looking forward to on the horizon between now and the beginning of next year? What's something special for you that lights you up?
Honestly, is continuing to spread this message and to help people overcome their adversity. When I hear people tell me that they read the book and it changed them,
Wow.
I get calls from 40-year-old men and women, right? People that are much older than me, and they tell me this book is changing them, it's helping them, it's making them see things differently. That is what fires me up. So, continuing to get this message out and get it to more people, that's what fires me up. That's what gives me goosebumps, right? And knowing that little kids, I just did a speech to an elementary school, and I was talking to little kids there, and seeing them come up with my book and having me sign it.
Wow.
Honestly, it gives me goosebumps as we're talking. It's just like, wow, I'm impacting future generations. And that's what fires me up, because I sincerely care about people, and I want people to live the best life they can. I want them to minimize the suffering that they're going to face. I want them to be mentally prepared for the suffering they're going to face. There's all these different challenges of life. And so just really making an impact in people's lives, that's what fires me up every single day.
Well, I wish you continued success and happy journeys to you and to your parents and to your brother. I send you my heartfelt warmth and a hug. So I'm just going to send it right out to you. So Elijah Stacy, thank you so much for being a guest on our show today. And may all your journeys and all your days just be blessed and happy.
Thank you so much. It's been great being able to talk to you today.
Yeah, your energy just vibes right through the screen. I actually feel it. So it was very nice to visit with you. Happiness always. Bye, Elijah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.